What's shaking, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Wham. Once again, big shout out to Han Solo for sharing this, as well as Nigel for sharing the George Michael material, which, I've been trying to do these in tandem, and I do very much associate them for obvious reasons. In any case, we're going back to Fantastic, 1983, and the next tune is Come On! Exclamation point, which, this is an interjection often used with enthusiastic vigor toward the completion of some goal or the collective endeavor, and different people and parts of that endeavor either encouraging directly or providing physical or logistical support in some way. Bottom line, it makes me think of playing football, and it makes me think of, your teammate scores a goal and you're like, come on, we got this. It's people enthusiastically indicating their support for the collective project. Now, again, this could just be an interjection that's about rhythm. It's about, feeling the music in the moment, like, come on, let's, hit the dance floor, let's feel this sonic groove. I suppose I would be more inclined to think the latter, but at the same time, if there's emotions, if there's, interpersonal narratives at play, it could, work on multiple levels. I would just say you could implore someone to do something or to feel like, come on, you won't regret this, I assure you. It could be about making a plea, although that feels asymmetrical, that feels perhaps, someone who's not unpacking a logical argument, they're just trying to, compel another person through intensity or enthusiasm. I don't know what I'm talking about. Let's listen to the tune. This is Wham. The track is Come On! Exclamation point. And it's from the 1983 album Fantastic. Or it would be if the speakers were on, which, generally speaking, if you're going to listen to music, is a crucial factor. We got some funk. There could be multiple figurative interpretations of that. Oh. Very sprightly. With that xylophone. Not sure. But he can do so many things with his voice. I think my favorite is when he does get a bit wicked and raspy, a bit aggressive. But don't worry, they're gonna spoil your fun, like don't let anyone tell you that you're wrong. Get on with your party. I mean, it could be about clubbing and living that lifestyle and so on. I think it could maybe also have a deeper meaning. Which, you know, like sexual liberation for people not, you know, typical or like... Those bongos? Yeah. Like the way you hit fun there. Yeah, like I said, it feels like it could be about that kind of life, you know, going to clubs, hooking up with people, like enjoying like being young and attractive and, you know, into a scene that's sort of, you know, new and fresh and is sort of, you know, maybe kicking off some of the like the dust of like earlier like cultural styles and so on, or, you know, moving in a different direction. But again, like knowing George's history to some extent, I feel like it could be about the gay community, and it's like, you know, don't let anyone tell you that you're wrong or spoil your fun, and like you go out there, you have your party, and don't let people deter you from that. So I feel like it could maybe be working on multiple levels, and maybe that's not part of it. Maybe it just is about the you know, get out there and dance and, you know, feel your body and be, you know, love the way you look, love the way you feel, and love to be hot with other people in this context. But yeah, like I said, it feels like it could maybe work on both levels. And yeah, funky tune, you know, lots of cool instrumental elements. And then those instrumental sections, which I don't know like what that was, that like sprightly, like maybe keyboard run. Either way, that added a bit of spice, but the whole thing had a very funky feel. And again, we hear falsetto, we hear some straightaway, like beautiful melodic tones, but I think my favorite moments from George vocally are when he turns up the heat a little bit and he hits it a bit hotter and like, you know, kind of have that deep breathe in at the end of it, which, you know, kind of like just throwing it down. Like it feels like he gets a bit more aggressive in moments, and those, like, you know, the vocals really hit in those parts. So shout out to George, and yeah, shout out to Andrew as well. Again, not knowing, you know, did they both write songs, or like the composition of the melodies. I don't quite yet have a sense for like the way a Wham tune comes together, other than knowing that like with George at the vocal helm, you know, you get to write for a really good voice, which, you know, I always think about, you know, a duo like Yazoo, where it's like, okay, so Vince has Alison Moyet's voice to work with. That must be a nice thing to write for. So yeah, ultimately, still getting a sense for how a Wham tune comes together, and presumably, you know, at this stage it might be different than it was later on. It might be, you know, more or less collaborative at different stages, or, you know, with different tunes. But either way, I am enjoying this first album, and it has, you know, I knew there would be some like 80s synth pop, synth dance kind of feel. But there is a bit more funk soul kind of flavor than perhaps I was expecting. So it's always interesting as I go through these deep dives related to artists that I've known about. You know, they're very famous. There's no way you could live in the 80s or 90s and not hear the name, maybe even hear one or two of the tunes. But you have this limited sense. And, you know, for some people, they've spent all that time listening. So not only is it cool to go through the music and, oh, this is a bit different than I thought, but then you get perspective and it's like, oh, well, they were inspired by this person, and, you know, they wanted to try this sound because, you know, they like these artists, you know, growing up and so on. So yeah, it's been really cool to go through different artists, including Wham and George Michael, and to learn more of a story that I had hints of, you know, like most people did back when it actually happened. So in any case, I'll stop talking, but shout out once again to Han Solo, shout out once again to Nigel. I appreciate the assistance with the Wham / George catalog. Do let me know what you think of this, and we'll see you next time. Peace.